Ba 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 ba.
Uh,
What do you want to talk about?
uh, what are we actually going to talk about?
Planning?
Planning.
It's often one of the things that people don't think about when they're going to do their video.
Right.
So what often happens is they're like, oh, I want to make some video. I'm like, great. What do you want to make it about? And they say, oh, I don't know. I want to do an area guide. Or I want to do a business profile. That's
Yeah.
a better
Yeah.
example, right? I want to do a business profile. And you go, okay, great. But they don't think about who's going to be in it necessarily, what that might look like, what the outputs are going to look like, and what have you. And people are like, oh, sometimes they're like, oh, it looks way better than I thought it was going to. And I think for me, how important is the planning part?
Hugely. I mean, you just touched on a couple of bits there. Who do you want to represent your business? So, who's going to be in the video? Who's going to be the voice of your business or one of the
Or a
voices?
face?
And face, indeed. Do you want to remove yourself as business owner? Do you want a short piece in there to camera just to give the film a bit of authority, bit of sort of history because you originally started the business, I'd imagine. But then, yeah, in terms of the planning stuff, is what are you? Say you're doing a business profile and you're a car dealership. So you're probably going to want the branch manager in there because he's the boss or whatever. You might want to meet one of the people that take you out for test drives because in your customer experience, your customer journey, you're probably going to come across Terry or Jane who does all the test drives. So they're front facing customers, right? But then also think about what is their area of expertise within the business and what can they talk about confidently rather than just freestyling on camera. Because let's face it, unless you're a professional actor or a comedian, press record on a camera and most people go to pieces because they're like, oh, I mean, I'm a killer for it. Like, I forget what I'm saying on the podcast sometimes and
Yeah.
got a notebook and people do it all the time. Obviously, editing helps there. But yeah, planning of who, what, when, where, and why. Like you said, why are you making a business profile? I get it. You want to showcase your business. But what are you going to talk about in it? Like, where are you going to shoot this video? Is it you're going to be in the store cupboard? Probably not, because it looks gross. Is it going to be in the reception of your business or the entrance of your business?
Maybe, but the sound might be bad.
Sound might be bad. Do you want to not ruin your business, but if you've got customer facing business and they're in and out of your business premises, then how are you going to deal with that? If phones ring in the office, like you don't want phones ringing in the background when someone's saying something important on camera. So yeah, there's so much to plan. But yeah, it's not obvious to some people who are just starting out in the film game that they should always just have a quick look behind them before they press record because there could be something weird and distracting in the background, or there could be like a bin with some garbage hanging out the top of it. It just doesn't look very nice.
Inappropriate poster.
Inappropriate poster, or even we've seen some people do it where they'll film in their office or their boardroom and they've got facts and figures, not necessarily GDPR compliant to have facts and figures about your business in a video.
Or your customers.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not going to be too pleased about it either.
Same on screens when you're recording on screens, because that happens quite a lot actually. People don't plan, so they think, oh, we'll get some shots of our people at work in our office environment, whatever that office might be, and they go, Dan, I'm just going to come behind you and get us, a shot behind, whatever. Make sure what's on screen isn't sensitive or
Yeah, like
anything
put the
like that.
homepage of your business up.
Yeah, that's a really good tip actually.
Yeah.
Put the homepage of your business up. I think that's a really key one. I think also planning, it comes down it can come down to everything small. Like one of the biggest things that people fail to plan is what they're going to wear.
Yes.
Is costume, not
Yes.
costume or wardrobe.
Mm.
We see it so many times where people turn up to do green screen stuff in green.
Because they don't get the process.
They don't get the process that actually keying out green screen means that they're just going to be a floating head, which we did as quite a bit of a lull with our mate Chris Watkin. We gave him a green T-shirt and he became like Holly from Red Dwarf. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
That was really
great
fun. With a he had a captain's hat, didn't he?
He did a captain's hat.
So yeah, it was just like a floating head.
Yeah.
Holly,
But if you've never done it, if you don't know, you don't know, right?
But seriously, think about wardrobe, think about what your people are going to wear. Try and make it symmetrical
Also, a bit
and
like
stuff.
if you see people wearing stripes on the telly,
Oh yeah,
and it has
really,
that
yeah,
plays with
weird.
your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, the best tip I always give people when we were running the photography studio, people are like, oh, what should I wear? And I said, wear blue. Wear blue. Wear blue is great because every blue matches.
Hmm.
That's a little costume tip for everybody. Every blue matches, doesn't matter whether it's sky blue, navy blue, whatever. And white. And if you wear a mixture of white and blue, I mean, I'm wearing white and blue actually, to be fair, and actually white and blue, and you're wearing blue trainers, but actually white and blue. And if everyone has that sort of color combo, you get a really nice palette.
Yes.
What can also work really well is we've done a lot of work with some big brands, and their corporate colors might be red or orange or whatever. Put an accent in, put like a little
Bit
a little
cushion.
touch, a cushion, or have a red pin, or an orange tie or whatever. I mean,
Just a
orange ties,
nod.
little touches of your brand color, really good. And those bits of planning, they all come under planning, right? They all come under planning, all these bits. Time frame for your shoot as well. When are you going to shoot it? Locations, who's going to be in it? What am I going to wear? What are my other people going to wear? What are we going to say? And that comes into scripting. We often bulk in scripting and planning
Mm.
together. And now there's some great things. I mean, you can use the robot, you can use chat, to generate a bit of scripting for FAQs, or you can generate some script for whatever. But obviously a lot of stuff, if it's specific to your business and very particular,
Mm.
you'll want to make that script yourself. But that, again, all formulates part of the planning. So it's really, really key. I think the planning element for me is what's going to make it happen. It's a bit like a military strategy. Piss poor planning, prevents piss poor performance, right? And that is, my dad used to say that all the time, and it's really, really key that you think seriously about those elements of your shoot so that you get the best result.
Yeah, and
Because that comes back to the Roy video that
indeed.
we did about ROI and investment, and I think that's going to maximize the return.
Yeah, and I think probably not far off saying it there as well, that time saved and money essentially, because everyone's price sensitive to a certain degree.
Yeah.
If you've bought a service, say video, say us for this example, and we're only there for the day, our aim is to make you have a good time, or I hope you have a good time, make it seamless, make it fairly relaxing if possible, because let's face it, everyone's Monday mornings not normally surrounded by cameras and lightings and microphones.
Mm.
Like, take the nervous anxiety out of it. But by giving yourself an hour or two, even just that, of planning, you're going to save yourself money, cold hard cash, by getting what you need to do done in the time frame allowed.
Yeah, and get it to the standard you want it.
Yeah, because let's not, I mean, like, it's an old DIY thing, like, you measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
But also, my dad has always said, if you think a job's going to take you an hour, double it and add half an hour. Now, that's a totally Iranu equation that he's probably just made up, but it's true, because you find you get to do something, unless you're a super pro, like you do it all the time for a job, like certain complications come up. And we're talking video now, so you might be reading from a teleprompter, or you might be freestyling, or you might have remembered a script. Whatever it is you're doing on camera, allow for mess ups, tripping over your own words, forgetting what you're saying halfway through a sentence because you're nervous because you're on camera. It's letting the people that you're working with, your team, if you're getting buy-in for your team because they're going to be on camera, letting them know what to expect.
That's one of the biggest things as well, because that's one of the things that we get asked a lot, isn't it? Where people will say, "Well, what are you going to ask? What we're gonna do?" I'm like, "It's all cool. That's all good. But if you're going to do the shoot yourself, to put your people at ease, to put your team at ease, if you're going to do this, internally, it's really important that you let them know. Like, the way that you inform will dictate the quality of the output, and that's the planning stage for me. My top 3 tips, I think, for planning are: make sure you do it. Plan, non-negotiable. Make sure you plan. Make sure you plan things that that are going to have an impact, like wardrobe, like location, like who's going to be in it. But remember to plan, the scripting and the wardrobe and things that you might not necessarily think about. And the third thing, plan the output. So when we make stuff, we sort of shoot. We call it shoot to edit. So we know what the outputs are going to be. So plan the outputs. Make sure that you know exactly what you're going to get out of your investment in time and energy and money, to ensure that you get the right result. So I think they're my top 3 tips
Good
for
top 3
planning.
tips there.
Thanks, mate.
Solid episode.
Thanks. But yeah, join us again for another one.
See you next time.